Hi guys, welcome to this webinar on crisis management. I hope you're all doing good despite what's going on around the world around us at the moment. So I've put this together really to give you four of the key areas to focus on in your business right now. I know there's tons of stuff going on, but just to give a little bit of focus and make sure that you're clear on each of these areas to really help you to move forward. Before we start, what I wanted to just get across to you is this has happened before. Crises like this, maybe not as serious this, but crises have happened in the business world over the sort of hundreds of years that we've been around. So we've got to understand that business goes through cycles, and it's very much like the seasons in a bit in the weather. And so if you go back to agricultural days, we had farming and the seasons there. Very much that is happening within a business. So if we go back, we'll probably look back on the last few years and actually see that was our summer. Yeah, that's when we should have been reaping the harvest. We should have been putting things away, ready for the winter that was actually fast approaching. But the problem is we never know when that's going to happen. So I go back to 2008 crisis. There were talks of it, back in 2006, but no one knew what was going to happen, when it was going to happen. This is from the coronavirus. There might be ones in the future that will happen again, and we won't know about them until they've actually happened. But once we're there, we understand that we've actually hit this autumn, okay, the fall, when all the leaves fall to the ground, and it's our chance during that period is to clear out the dead wood. Now, some of that is internally, but we can clear out some of the dead wood for our own businesses, but actually it's a way of pruning back some of the dead businesses out there that need to leave so that the good ones can actually continue. And hopefully all of you watching this are going to be some of those good ones that are actually going to go on and thrive when we come out of this. Because once we go through the autumn, which I would say we're currently here, so towards the end of March, we're not in lockdown in the UK at the moment, but potentially that's going to happen. As soon as we go into that, then we're really into our winter period, or into our hibernation, so that where we've got to get our head down and actually just prepare for the next part of the season, which is the spring, because spring will always follow winter. So there will be an upside. There will be a time where we start to come out of this. Now that might be quite quick. It might be quite slow. But during this period now, and this is really what I'm wanting to focus on, is not necessarily the next few weeks. We're focusing on the next few months, so that when that spring does come, we are in the best place, not only to have survived the winter, but also to thrive when the spring comes. And this seasonality happens every sort of 7 to 15 years, sort of, almost sort of a working generation. So, we've got to understand that, last one was 2008. It's been 12 years of going through this sort of, spring into summer. Now we're going to hit the autumn and the winter. My feeling at the moment, as I sit here, is it's going to happen quite quick. We're going to hit the fall, the winter, and spring will come round rather quickly. How long that's going to be, that recovery period, that's the bit we just don't know at the moment. So no crystal balls here, just taking you back from my experience over the last sort of 30 odd years of being in and around businesses. So the first thing we've got to understand is we've got to stay positive within this. There's too many people that you'll see go into blame, excuses, and denial. It's everyone else's fault, Chinese, it's the government's fault. When we own our own businesses, we've got to be focused on the fact that we have to take ownership of this, okay? We have to provide that responsibility and hold ourselves accountable to making sure we come out. As I said at the start, shit happens, but we have to, as business owners, take ownership of this and make sure that we survive, and then have businesses that can go on to thrive when we come out. And the other big thing is we've got to avoid this fear. Fear, and I love this little phrase, false expectations appearing real. The fact that a lot of the stuff that's on the news, on the TV, is just feeding this frenzy that is in us all, that we don't want to be in danger. So our reptilian brain kicks in, our fight or flight. We either run away from it, we stick our head in the sand, or we fight it. And what I'm saying here is we need to fight this. Okay, we need to take that control, as much control as we can, and have our plans, have our ideas of how we're going to get through this, and then go on to continue our businesses in 3, 6, 9 months' time. So I use this for those that come to my sort of workshops in the past. I use this at the start of every single workshop, and I still believe it's true right now. Be, do, have. What do we want to have? What are our dreams and our goals? Who do we need to be, and what do we need to do? And if we bring this in today's world, you've got to be clear what your have is. Today, right now, for most of us, this is not about making loads of money and growing our businesses and retirement in 2, 3 years' time. This have now is about survival. Okay, this is about doing what it takes to be here in 12 months' time. In order to do that, we've got to have that attitude, knowledge, and skills to be able to do it. If you haven't been through a recession before, this is your first one, then you've got a lot to learn. For those of us that have been through 2 or 3, my first one was sort of 92, then the 2008 one. So this is my third one. So, you get a bit hardened to this thing, the more that you go through. And then we've got to have that plan and the action. So what I'm hoping from today, you're going to take out a very simple 4-stage plan and have some actions of what you need to actually do. So the first thing I want you to do is grab a piece of paper. If you come to any of my seminars and workshops, you must take notes on this stuff because there's a lot to cover and it's the best way for you to remember. So first thing to do, grab a blank sheet of paper, write a big cross and put cash in the top left-hand corner because that is our first thing that we need to focus on. Cash is king. You've got to hang on to cash. Cash is your lifeblood. If you're a bulb in the ground, that's all the material around you that's going to feed you through the winter. So you've got to be thinking of ways to actually bring it in. So the first thing is, are there any debts? Is there any money that needs to come into the business? Okay, but be empathetic. Your customers, you want your customers to be there in 12 months' time as well. There's no point in banging the table asking for stuff that they don't have. But wherever possible, get your money in, come up with some payment terms, work with them to get that cash in your bank so that you can survive. If you can, look at all your suppliers, all of your outgoings, the big ones, the rents, any supplier accounts, and talk to your suppliers, talk to the people that provide these services and see if there's a way to actually reduce what you're actually paying. For landlords, I'm a landlord, I know that I'm going to have to take a hit on certain tenants just to keep them in the properties because what I don't want is an empty property in 3 months' time and then have to fill it in a market that isn't going anywhere. So your landlords should be in a position where they're actually willing to talk to you. I've had some good examples recently of people that have actually managed to do that. So really think about what you can do with those. Suppliers, again, don't forget, they're your customers. You're their customers, so working together on that is key. And go through all your standing orders, your direct debits, your stuff that we have in there that we pay 10, 20, 50 pound a month. It might not seem a lot, but added up, that could be an extra week, an extra month of survival money that you need. And it's a good time, really. Again, this is that autumn, winter, cutting back, pruning down of what you don't really need. It's not going to give you a return on investment, not going to keep you in this game, then there's a good chance you need to sort of look at stopping it. The other thing is get your funding ready now. The government are doing their best. Some will say it's not enough, but this is unprecedented. No government has given them the amount of money available that this government is about to at the moment, and it looks like there might be a bit more, but you need to get your money ready now. Okay, so there are the schemes. Talk to your bank. Now they are overloaded. I was talking to my bank manager this morning. Their Indian call centres are all off. They're in quarantine in India, so they're having to do it sort of working 12, 14 hours a day just to process what they've got. This is where those relationships that, for all my clients, I say, work with your bank managers now, build those relationships up, because when you need them, you want to be on that phone. So I got a call from mine and said, look, we're here to help. We want to help you. Now, you don't jump queues, but having that person to talk to is key. So really think about that. The other thing is there are mortgage brokers out there. There are lending brokers that you can talk to. They have a lot of this information. They'll get it before you get it. So if you've got an open communication with those people, then it's really good to have that. If you don't have any of those, just email me. Anything you want after this, just send me an email, send me a message, and I'll do my best to get you in contact with these people that are there to actually help. But please appreciate they are inundated at the moment. So you're going to have to be patient on these things. I've also heard with some of these, actually I'll come to it in a second. So the government handouts, they are posting all the time. The government are doing a daily update, so please get yourself onto that daily update. It's not easy. There's a lot of information, there's a lot of repeat information in there. Alternatively, I've got my WhatsApp group. Again, message me if you want to get onto that. And I'm just updating what I think are the relevant points that are relevant for businesses. So it's not about health and things like that. It's purely about what will impact your business. So please look, email me and I'll get you onto that WhatsApp group. I'm suggesting you don't pay your VAT, PAYE, corporation tax anytime soon. Okay, so if you've got it, it's about to be paid. I'm just saying hang on to it. The number there on the screen, so please take that down. That's the time to pay. So you need to give those guys a call. Now, the good news was, just had one of my clients phone them. They only had to wait 10 minutes on the call before they got through, and they managed to get a deferment of their VAT until June. So, if you can't get through, find the mailing address of your local tax office, write them a letter. Okay, do both. Cover your bets on this one. So, but I would say don't pay it if it's due imminently. Send the letter, give the call, and give yourself those few extra months. Don't forget, it is payable. It doesn't mean it's going to be knocked off. Yeah, you will have to pay it. You're just delaying keeping that cash in your account for the short term. The final one, it's worth a look. I don't hold out much hope, but some insurance policies, trading policies, have a protection scheme where if trade is disrupted, then they will pay a contribution to your gross profit. They will look to get out of it, so you've got to make sure your clauses are solid. If you haven't got an insurance broker, then you're going to need to try and find this online. If you've got an insurance broker, talk to them and really look at those fine details. It's all about pandemics and whether it's covered. COVID-19 wasn't known, so obviously wouldn't be stated, but if it's got a pandemic cover in there, then you may well be covered, and that would contribute to your GP, which would be amazing if you've got that. Some of the key things at the moment, obviously there's this 100% business rates relief if you're in retail, hospitality and leisure. Again, the definition of that is really down to the rates office. So if they will be contacting you, I'm told, to actually tell you that whether you qualify or not. It was also opened up, I found today, for nurseries. So if you're in childcare nurseries, then they will actually have the same 100% relief. If you're one of those and you've got a rateable value of less than 51,000, you're entitled to a £25,000 grant. Now, a grant means it's not repayable. You just get given that money. It seems at the moment that is going to be paid piecemeal. Okay, it's not going to come out as 25 grand in one lump. It's going to come out in dribs and drabs. So do keep an eye on that. Again, this should be coming directly from the rates office directly to you. So, but if I get more information, again, I'll be posting that on the WhatsApp group. Irrespective of what you do, if you get small business relief on your rates, then there will be a £10,000 grant for you guys. Okay, so it's a small amount, but again, you're a smaller business, so it should be there just to help keep you in business, for the next 3 months or so that you can come out the other side. Again, it should be coming through from the rates office, so you don't have to do anything. It should be just coming directly to you. Now we move on to the banks and the lenders. There's a loan guarantee scheme that will pay 80% or guarantee 80% of your loan. And you get 12 months interest free and 6 months payment holiday. So, don't forget, this is a loan. So only take this out if you really feel you can repay this. Okay, don't take it out, and think it's free money. It's not. You will have to pay it at some stage, but that guarantee means the banks are able to give this money out quicker. Now, I was told by my bank this morning that up to 100,000 should be relatively easy. 50,000, the bank managed to just be able to sign that off on site of good accounts up to before the coronavirus. So if you were in a bad state before, you may struggle with this one coming into this. You've got to have been in a good state before you actually come in. Otherwise, they're going to look at it in not so favourable terms. But again, speak to your bank. They are very, very busy, so you're going to have to be a little bit careful or patient before you get through. Again, if you haven't got a good broker, there are brokers out there and other lenders that can lend this stuff. I think I heard there's about 40 providers, so you need to go to the brokers to find the ones that are going to do that. I was talking to Funding Circle earlier in the week, and they're trying to get onto the scheme as well. So that will be fantastic if they can get onto the scheme, because that means the Funding Circle way of borrowing money is far, far quicker and easier, and it should just be the online process that you go on to actually seek Funding Circle. But at the moment, they're not. But again, watch this space, and I'll post on WhatsApp as soon as I hear I've got contact directly into Funding Circle that can help us with that. We've got the 3 months holiday for your mortgages. I suggest you speak to your mortgage company, tell your staff to ask for that sort of 3 months holiday. Again, you've got to go through the brokers themselves, also the mortgage companies themselves, and they are going to be busy. So get in while you can, but be patient, because the 3 months, if it's not this month, it could be the next 3 months. So it's not going to run out, but there will be a big rush in the first few weeks. So keep an eye on that one. So really, that's the key. Fill that box in on your piece of paper with all those ideas of what can you do, 5 things that you can do to hold on to or bring in more cash into the business right now. And think of this as you've got to have enough cash, I reckon, for at least 9 months here, okay, to the end of the year. So, this is not just 2 or 3 weeks. You've got to be thinking about the cash going forward. So you've got to have a 13-week rolling cash flow forecast. Every single week, money in, money out, projecting it forward with the borrowing you've got, and really keep an eye on that. There is no excuse at the moment not to have a cash flow. If you want a very simple spreadsheet on the WhatsApp group, I've actually uploaded a very simple spreadsheet template that you can just download, and you can use that, put your figures into. Otherwise, just message me and I'll make sure you get a copy of that completely free. Just have that and put your numbers in, but you've got to have that cash flow in there. So the next side is on the piece of paper is to put the team, okay? Because our team are very, very important, because when we come out of this, we want to make sure we maintain our talent. It's taken a lot of time for many of us to build up a great team, and now we've got to actually make sure that they stay with us, they work with us, and we work for them, and then they'll work for us. So the first thing is, you've got to over communicate. At the moment, you should be talking to team pretty much every single day in some shape or form. Worst case, an email, a positive email. Don't send negative stuff through emails. I've seen people that have been, laid off through emails. That's just wrong. Okay, if it's the only way you can communicate, fine. But for most of us with small businesses, treat them like adults, treat them like human beings first, then adults second. Okay, so get them to be thinking about, or if you treat them that way, then they're likely to treat you the same way. The other thing is get them into smaller groups, not big groups, okay, but small groups, 5, 6, 8 people, and brainstorm the situation. What if this happened? If you've still got work, what would happen if the work stopped? If you don't have work, then what can we be doing to get more work? Use the power of the group. If there's one good thing out of this pandemic, is it's affecting everybody. Okay, it's not just your business or just your industry. This is everybody. Okay, so these guys are thinking about this all the time. And if you don't communicate to them about it, they're going to go into fear mode, that reptilian brain, fight or flight. They're going to read the press. They're going to come up with 10 times worse thoughts than you can ever give them. Okay, so you've got to make sure you're thinking about this and getting them to actually come up with ideas and work with you. Then you've got to start thinking about your contracts, so go back. A lot of us do our contracts and we don't really sort of read them. But just because it says something in the contract doesn't mean you can't change the contract. Okay, contract is an agreement with two parties. Therefore, you can actually have another agreement and you can rewrite the contract for a short period of time. So if you've worked with your team, if you've got them on board, if you're communicating with them, and then you say, well, look, we need a temporary change to our agreements, and they both parties agree, then you can do those changes. If you're unsure, talk to your HR people, okay? If you don't have HR people, again, message me. I've got connections to a number of HR people that will be only too happy to help you. Again, they are very busy at the moment, but at least you'll have somebody you can actually talk to. So when you're talking to them, look at reducing their hours, flexi time, work from home, bring forward holidays. Can you enforce holidays? Not really. You can't force them to take holiday, but in the connection with what else is on offer, it probably is the best thing to do. So, but if you've got that communication with your team members, then you can come up with creative ways that actually mean that they don't have to work or can reduce less hours, take some time off, maybe promise them something a little bit extra when we come through this in the future. Okay, but work with your team to make this work. If you do have people that are on sick, now the criteria is they don't need a doctor's certificate, a GP note. All they need to do is basically go through a test online, which is very simple. I've done it myself. And it basically says, have you got a temperature and have you got a sore throat or have you got a cough? So if you've got both of those, then it says, we suggest you self-isolate. And I think there's a certificate they can actually produce and send to you. At worst, get them to email you and say, I've got a temperature, I've got a cough, and therefore I'd like to self-quarantine. Once they do that, they go on to statutory sick pay, which at the moment is £95.85 a week. Not massive, but it's better than being laid off. Okay, and they get that at the moment for 2 weeks, but my guess is that may well be extended over the next month or so, depending on the number of people that come up with the disease. If you do have to make people redundant, don't forget there still is a redundancy process. You can't just go in and make certain people redundant and not others. If you have to close down the whole business, God forbid, if you have to, then there are ways that you basically go into insolvency, and there are ways that the government will pay the redundancy if you really have no money on that. But again, speak to an insolvency practitioner. Again, message me if you don't know one. I'll put you in touch with, I've got 2 or 3 that I would definitely recommend that will work with you to that, if it gets to that situation. Okay, if it doesn't and you need to make certain people redundant, there's a process to go through. And also, don't forget, it's £538 a week, up to 30 weeks, depending on their age and the length of service. And there's a calculation to do that. Again, I suggest you talk to an HR person to actually come up with those numbers. But for this, you've got to do the numbers, okay? Because once you've made them redundant, then those people are in effect gone, and in 3-6 months' time, you build up again. You're going to have to recruit again. So that was what the government then brought in the furlough rules in. Now, the interesting thing is furlough rules don't actually exist in UK law at the moment. It's an American item. So we're scrabbling around to try and find the information on this. But the essence is they'll pay up to 80% or £2,500 of their salary. Now, we think it's going to be up to their salary as per their payroll records on the 28th of February. Okay, so whether it's an average over the last 3 months or it was their pay in February, we don't know at the moment, but it's going to be something like that. Now, that's fine if they're long-term employees, but I've had a few clients that have said, look, I've taken on people on the 1st of March, and therefore they have no records of that. We don't know at the moment. Again, we're looking into it. We will post that on the WhatsApp group as soon as we find out. There's more information to come from that. But if they are on furlough, then they cannot work for you at all. So they can't do part-time work. They have to be basically on garden leave and not able to open emails, respond to anything. Okay, so now it is going to be open to abuse, this. So they are going to be pretty hot on it. So be very careful with this if you want to sort of stretch the barriers of where they're off, but they do a little bit of work. I really don't know how they're going to do it, how they're going to police it, how they're going to check it, but you've got to take your own call on that one. Okay, don't forget, this is there to stop people being made redundant and be laid off, so that we can keep people with some income paying their bills, and we don't have this massive spike in unemployment as a knee-jerk reaction to this situation. Okay, so we'll be posting more information about this as we come. There's a very good document at the moment with as much information you've got on the WhatsApp group. Anything on there, it's under the starred items, or all the stuff that is worth going back to. Otherwise, you have to look through a lot of information. Okay, so that's looking after your team. So make sure you communicate. If you do have to make cuts, make cuts. Okay, you've got to be looking at this is getting you through the next 9 months. Don't dilly-dally. There's no right or wrong decision here, guys. Make a decision one way or the other. Keep them, and fund it, or let them go and then have to rebuild later on. Okay, so you've got to make those calls on that. These are really, really tough decisions to make, and that's why I'm saying to anybody, look, if you want a conversation with me, I'll give you a free hour just to talk this through. I'm not going to tell you what to do, okay, but I'll help you make that, coach you to a decision that you feel you're comfortable with, okay? But not making decisions at the moment is the wrong thing. Procrastination is going to kill you, okay? Do or don't do. Just make a decision, go with it, back it. And if you want somebody to just give it a bit of a sound check and make sure you haven't missed anything, and please, drop me a message, give me a call. I'm going to be probably working from home, although on my own in the office, so it's not too much of a problem. But I'm going to be here for my clients, and I'll be here for anybody else that wants that bit of support. So the third area we need to focus on is our customers and suppliers. Okay, this is your chance to give exceptional service, to go above and beyond. Your customers are going through exactly the same pressures as you are. Okay, they're worried about their suppliers, their customers, their team, their cash flow. So when I say over communicate, I mean over communicate more than you normally do. Okay, don't bombard them with useless stuff, and irritate them, but communicate more than you would normally do. Be in touch with them, talk to them about, just be empathetic. We're all in the same boat here. If you talk to people, just having a friendly ear can be quite nice sometimes. So have that empathy with them, with their situations, and talk to them about how you can help. Okay, we've all got extended networks. I'm more than happy now to recommend the bank managers that I've built relationships with, the mortgage brokers, the HR people, the accountants. I've got an amazing network of people that I've built up over the last 15 years down here. And this is when you need those people. This is when you need that little black book of people to go into. So talk to your customers, see if you can help them with introductions. If you want to get them on the WhatsApp group, then please do. The more people on there, the better, because we've got more knowledge that can be shared amongst the group. Help them see the positives. Help them see beyond the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay, help them to see, look, you've got a very strong business. You're going to be here in 9 months' time, and I'm here to help you be there in 9 months' time. Okay, because it's very easy. Go back to my above the line slide. It's very easy to go down to blame, excuse, and denial. Put your head in the sand, hibernate. These are not times to hibernate. We've all got to take that ownership, step up, and do something about this. And where you can, over deliver. Give. Now's the time to give your customers more than they're paying for. Okay, I think people come into this seeing this as a short term, get rich quick. Sell some masks, sell some sanitizing fluid. That's not what this is about, guys. This is about staying in the game. For those that follow me on the various channels, we do a book club every quarter. The next book club, which will be in June, it will be on. It'll probably be still on a webinar, but it will still be on. is a great book by Simon Sinek called The Infinite Game. You know, the game of business is to stay in the game. Yeah, and that's where we are at the moment. It's, you know, we've got to do what it takes to actually stay in the game, and we need our customers alongside us to stay in that game. Okay, so what you're doing now is building those relationships with your customers, yeah, to actually help them so that when they come out of it, that relationship's closer, and therefore you'll actually do more business come out of this than you ever did before you went into it. If you can, extend some credit, okay, be flexible. Now, I put a caveat with this, you know, be careful who you extend credit to, not just everybody, yeah, because when we look at clients, we always categorize them into A, B, C, Ds. You know, awesome clients, you know, your basic good clients, you could do better clients, and you wish you were dead clients, okay? You really want to be looking at your A's and B's. You know, these are the guys that have stood by you, have helped you, that have got good credit ratings, have always paid on time, you know, so when we come out of this, then they will honor that sort of that trust that you've given into them by giving them credit. But look at their industry. You know, is their industry going to come out of this unscathed or, you know, reasonably strong at the end of it? If it's not, be careful with extending credit. Okay, you know, sometimes it feels a bit rude to ask for cash, but you know you've got to look after number one first. So, you know, do it, but, you know, be flexible, but also be careful. And, you know, just do what it takes to keep them. Okay, you need them there in 3 months' time, yeah, so that you can build your business back up alongside them. Yeah, so be talking to them, work with them, see what you can actually do together, and to come out in 9 months' time. So, and there will be some opportunities here. Okay, so yeah, and I'm going to come on to this a bit more in the next group of slides, but, you know, there will be new clients for you out there. So look at where the money is at the moment, where the transaction, probably not the right word, follow the money, but what are the transactions? Where is the change in business? You know, we are going through a massive seismic shift in the way business is done now. Yeah, the old rules don't apply. There'll be some new rules that are going to be forming, new ways of doing business, new business opportunities. So look for those. Okay, this is going to be really important, and I'll do more of that in a second. So our fourth area is our opportunities. You know, we need to look for the opportunities, because, you know, there's a danger when we're in crisis mode that we become very internal perspective. You know, we're looking at our cash, we're looking at our team, we're looking at our customers. We become very, very narrow focused, you know, and that's what a good director and manager of a business should do, you know, look after the business. However, for most of us who are also business owners and therefore investors, we need at least once a week for a few hours a day to put our investor hat on, okay, and go out there and look at what's going on in the bigger wide world. Look for the opportunities. Yeah, after this storm, there will be rainbows. Okay, at the end of those rainbows, there will be pots of gold. Now, if you're just sitting there, you know, moping around, you know, in your businesses, you're worried about this and that, then you're going to miss these opportunities. So, you know, there'll be opportunities to sell more stuff, different stuff to your existing client base. That's why you need to talk to them. What else do they need? They're more likely to talk to you now than they ever were 3 months ago. Okay, so be talking to them about how you can help them not only through the crisis, but longer term. Add additional products and services if you feel that could work. You know, change the way you work. You know, you see restaurants now doing home delivery. You know, like myself, you know, I've been very much a face-to-face coach, you know, but, you know, bringing on online technology, hopefully this is recording, you know, and video, you know, it actually is amazing once you get over that initial hurdle, how easy this stuff is to actually use. I don't think it's going to replace it completely. You know, there will be some of the traditional stuff we'll come back to, we have to, but you can change, you know, different ways to do things and get your message across and work and find ways to actually make money in the future. Again, make money in the future, at the moment, survival and add value. Put yourself in your client's shoes. You know, think about, if I was in your shoes, what would I be doing right now? What would I be thinking? How would I be acting? Okay, because by doing that allows you to actually, see more opportunities rather than stuck in your own shoes. Then there's more stuff that you can see if you're somewhere else. The other thing to think about is the way the business works. Okay, the sort of the vertical and horizontal axis of your business. Your business is in the middle of that. Yeah, you've got either side of you is you've got your competitors. Now, some of those are not going to survive. Okay, no idea what the failure rate of businesses is going to be. It's been pretty small for the last 10 years, and that to me suggests there's a lot of businesses that have been surviving, not thriving, and therefore they don't have the resources to see it through. Okay, they might last a little bit longer through the handouts, but the business models are not going to be strong enough to really build from there. So there'll be competitors that are failing, so are their clients that you can actually go and support and help. And they've got team members that, when we come out of this, that you can actually bring in. If you're brave, what you can be doing now is maybe not recruiting, but certainly getting the message out there to people saying, guys, we're not ready to recruit yet, but please, if you're interested in this sort of work, do send us your CVs, do write into us, because when we come out of this, we're going to need more people like you. Okay, so it's going to save you thousands on recruitment fees. If you're thinking like an investor and saying, what do I need to invest in? Capital assets, people assets. Certainly build up that network of potential recruits for the future. That's the sort of competitors either side. There's also the vertical, so be thinking about the suppliers. Are there suppliers that might not last? And therefore you can support them, take them over and absorb them into your operation. Are there customers? They're customers that, again, could be struggling that you could absorb into your operation. So be thinking up and down and side to side with this. Or also, completely new businesses. If you've got a business that isn't going to be here for the next 9 months or so, then you can sit there and mope about it, or you can look to see, right, what else is there going to be. That's why I want to get the network of businesses together to be talking about where are these opportunities that we can look to exploit over the next 12 months so that we can get through this and go on to bigger and better things. And go back to my sort of summer, autumn, winter, spring. Now and for the next 3 months, really, think about this as sowing the seeds for the future. This is not about harvesting. If you're coming into this trying to make shitloads of money, then I just think your mindset's wrong. We are all in up shit creek without a paddle at the moment. Okay, so do what it takes to survive, but be looking to sow the seeds for the future. Look at ways you can put things in place now that are going to actually reap their rewards in 9 months, 12 months time. Okay, we've got to play this as the long game. If you go on that business cycle, from now going forward, we've got another 10 years or so, in which to make hay. So we've got to survive this, and then actually we make the impact later on. The fifth one is sits in the middle, and we did a bit at the beginning, is that mindset. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're probably right. If you think you're going to survive this, then you've got a darn good chance of doing it. If you don't think you're going to survive it, then guess what? You're going to find it tough. Now, that is hard to do on your own, okay? And you are the leader of your business. You've got to lead it from the front. If you're not positive, if you're not looking at the opportunities, then that ripple is going to go through the organization, and everyone is going to be in a bad state. They're going to go away, they're going to read the papers, they're going to read the TV, and they're going to come back, and it's going to be hard. They're going to go further and further below that line into blame, excuses, and denial. Okay, so you've got to lead from the front. I know it's hard. I wake up in the morning and I think, oh my God, this is tough. But you get up, you look at yourself in the mirror. But I think one of the key things is, minimize your impact on the press. Okay. Bad stories make good TV. They're lapping this up. People are hooked by it. I call it the sort of herd mentality. If you imagine a field of sheep, all eating grass, all nice and happy, One sheep thinks it hears a big bat, a wolf in the distance, looks up. Another sheep sees the sheep look up, yeah, wonders why it looks up, doesn't hear anything. Another sheep looks up and sees the other sheep, and suddenly the whole flock, yeah, is looking up, and then it legs it. Okay, we're in that mentality. We've got this inbuilt to us. Okay, this is just human or animal instinct that we're on here. Yeah, you read the papers, you see something negative, that drives another negative thought. So really try and minimise that time with the TV and the papers. Hang around positive people. That's one of the key things of having the WhatsApp group. You know, it's why I believe this all my life with Action Coach and my community of like-minded people. Now more than ever, if you be one of those people that, you know, does it on their own and, you know, stiff upper lip British thing and, you know, I don't need help. No, for God's sake, speak to people, get help. Yeah, pick up the phone. You know, if it's another business owner, just sharing this stuff, making you realise that it's not just you, is so important. Okay, I am going to be doing more webinars. I'm going to try and do a regular weekly discussion group. So please, you know, I'll be getting this out on the various mediums. If you want to come and join that, a lot of the stuff I'm going to do for the next month or so is going to be completely free. You know, I've got to live, but you know, at the moment, it's about survival for everybody. That's the most important. Get some positive videos. You know, if you are going to be self-isolated, you know, do watch what you watch. Use that time. Invest your time that isn't on your business, yeah, in personal growth. Okay, get an Audible account. Buy some books. Okay, if you haven't read my book, let me go and grab it. That's it. I can tell this is live. So this is my book, Big Dipper: How to Survive the Roller Coaster Ride of Business Ownership. You know, if you message me, it's normally $14.99. I'll get that out to you for a tenner, and that will include the postage. So if postmen are still posting, but you know, I wrote this book not with this bloody coronavirus in mind, but just the general ups and downs of, you know, running a business, and this is one of those dips. Okay, this is, you know, probably is the bottom of the roller coaster you're ever going to go. But the good thing is, you know, we can push out, we can get on to a high level. So you know, fill your mind with good stuff. Brad is doing his 30x, so 30 minutes for 30 days of his top tips. Nothing to do with coronavirus. He recorded this way before we knew we were going to come into this. But you know, I think he's one of the most motivational business people that you'll get to speak or get to hear. So please, you know, if you want to get I think he's charging 99 quid. So you know, it's not a lot of money for, you know, for a whole month's worth of education, and there's more than that, you know, in 3 books. So please get that. Watch the videos, but make sure it's the positive stuff and make sure it's on your personal improvement. And please communicate wins. You know, I've just had one of my clients email me today. You know, they've just picked up 3 orders this morning. Okay, so it might seem insignificant for 3 months ago, but where we are now, you know, it's so significant. If you've got team members that have been positive, you know, and we work with you to alleviate the impact, you know, then please share that. You know, let me know. I'll put it out onto the WhatsApp groups. It's so important. There's enough negativity around, you know, and certainly your team as well. Get that message out to the team and get it out to the community. That, you know, the one good thing that, you know, the Brits are, you know, in times of crisis, we tend to pull together, and you see the best in people. Yeah, there'll be a few bad ones, but the majority will see the best in us all. So to finish up, you know, get your 90-day plan done. Okay, I've given you the 4 areas. To me, that's all you need on your 90-day plan. You know, 4 or 5 areas on each of those. Take action on something today. Okay, there should be a list of things to do. You know, my clients, you know, I'm now, you know, communicating with them pretty much at least once a week, if not more often. Okay, they're going to have plans. They're going to have their actions to do. They're going to have that accountability. It's very easy to get tired of this, run out of energy. I think I'll just leave it for now. You know, the more you take action right now, the better. Okay, get things done, get things moving. It seems like a big hurdle. You know, my list is bloody huge, and I look at it and think, God, am I actually going to get anything done? Doesn't matter. How do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time. Okay, so one little thing every time will really help with this. So I would normally ask questions and answers, but it's not really sort of possible with this webinar at the moment. So what I'm saying is, please email me, send me a message, and I will do my best to respond to that. If you want to come on the WhatsApp group, that's the best place really for it, because then I can give that reply to hundreds of people rather than one or two. So if you do want that, just message me. Doesn't matter how, LinkedIn message, email message, text message, however you want to do that. Just you know, you've got my contact details. Just let me know, and then I'll put you on the WhatsApp group. And please, if you are on the WhatsApp group, only post stuff that is checked out. I don't want any sort of, you know, herbal remedies for this and that. No health stuff. Okay, there's other channels for health. This is purely business, about getting our businesses through the next 3 months. And no kittens with toilet paper and pictures and funny things like that. Again, there's other better sites than that. No one wants their WhatsApp pinging away and stuff that isn't really going to help us move our businesses forward. So please, you know, it's been great talking to you. I'll be posting a few more of these as I get more information. I'm here to help. Again, if you want that hour with me just to talk through the strategies, please let me know, and I'll do my best. You know, I'll fit in whatever I can to help, and you know, really hope we all get through this. I wish you well. Stay safe, and see you soon. Bye for now.